Today we are reviewing the first ever brick-built Lego Slinky, and of course we've got the Slinky minifig, which I know a lot of people are excited about. So we're going to be talking about some interesting pieces. We've got some interesting building techniques and some interesting minifigs. Is it really worth that $150 price tag? Well, let's dive in. We love interesting building experiences with cool building techniques and unique pieces. How does this set match up here? When we consider the build, the books are predominantly built using two main techniques: stacking a bunch of bricks and plates to make the front and back, and then there are some snot techniques for the binding and the pages. Each of the books has an opening door contraption that reveals one of the two minifigs, and I have to say they are both interestingly built. The tin toy book has a pull-down panel that has a sliding platform on which you place Slinky. The knick-knack book has a door that opens out and a mechanism that pushes Woody up and out so that you can see him. The top of the tin toy book was really fun to build. You've got these brackets and snot bricks that help line everything up for the pages, which are then obscured a little bit by some tiles and the spine. You see a similar thing for the knick-knack book, except you also have a knob that allows you to open up the trapdoor that features Woody, and you also have a panel that you can remove to reveal a hidden room, which we'll talk about in a little bit. When it comes time to build Slinky, it's a more complex build than the books. There are a variety of snot bricks, clips, and bars that are used to achieve the various angles and contours. It's very much a modern Lego build, as you really have to do a lot of things to integrate his body with the coils. Layering the curves is soothing. Clipping in some of those angled sections, especially where the tail comes in, it's very satisfying. You can see the complexity in a couple of these shots that I'm showing you here, especially when it comes to his head, which has a lot going on in order to build the shaping and get the roundedness of the head as well as the articulated jaw. The rotation piece that you use for building his legs is brand new, and of course you use a number of snot techniques to get the size and shape of his paws. I will also note that one of the most impressive pieces in here is the printed eyes, which I think do a really good job of depicting the subject matter. There are a couple of drawbacks to the build experience though. For instance, the ears. There are these fabric pieces that actually have slightly differences on one side to the other, and I wasn't sure which side to put them on because the fluffier side, it's not shown in the instructions as having a different texture to it. So that was a bit confusing. But other than that, there weren't too many complaints. Now, as we start to piece together whether this is really worth $150, one of the interesting components to the set is the number of brand new pieces or recolors that are appearing for the first time in this set. There are quite a bit of new pieces in medium nougat, including these huge dome tops, where you get 8 of those. You get the 1x4 curved top arches in medium nougat as well. You get 16 of them, so that's really nice. You get quite a few 3x3 rounded corners in that color, the 1x1 round corners, even the curved bar with angled ends that we saw in last year's Italian Riviera, for instance. That's new in medium nougat. There are also the 2x2 plates with 2 studs are brand new in 2026. This is the second time we're seeing that piece, the first time being in the Eevee set. The ears are brand new. The elbow macaroni that are used for the coils for light blade, those are new in that color. Even the 2x2 inverted cone is brand new in reddish brown. And when it comes to building the books, we get some interesting pieces there, like the dark turquoise 1x4x3 panels that are new in that color, and then some Technic pieces. The dark purple 1x1 Technic brick with axle hole, the dark purple and dark turquoise 1x2 Technic bricks with 2 holes, and the medium nougat 1x2 Technic brick with an axle hole. So while there were some nice things going on in the build, I have to say, if you like new pieces, recolors, and you like to nerd out over seeing those in a set, this is definitely an intriguing option for you. So let's dive into the 2 minifigs that we get in the set, starting off with Woody. The star of the show certainly is not Woody, which is okay. He's a decent minifig that has appeared a couple of times before with some new wrinkles to him. The torso is nicely done, and it shows off his yellow shirt, the cowhide vest. His badge and belt are quintessentially Woody. The dual molded hat and hair combo is also very nice, and I even appreciate the double-sided head. But that's where we start seeing things go downhill a little bit, right? I think there's some things that could be better, including his nose, which is flat on the minifig head. The oval shape of his head is missing. The length of his legs is truncated, and he doesn't have any boots. So the character himself doesn't conform well to the traditional minifig design, and you can tell that here. The only way you would satisfy some of these issues that I have is by going back to the 2011 era Woody. Slinky, on the other hand, is great. He is 5 studs long, and he has some great detail, including his tail, which you can move around a little bit, his wry smile, and his wide eyes. His paws are medium nougat, which matches the rest of his body, and unfortunately does not fit the actual subject matter. His ears are rubbery, which means you can move them around a little bit, and the same holds true for his coils, which are very bendable. You can manipulate him in every direction, which is kind of nice. Now, I don't know if too much play will eventually take a toll on this part of the minifig, but it's definitely a fun feature of the whole thing. So overall, the minifigs are a little bit of a mixed bag. I do really like the Slinky minifigure. It's all that it cracked up to be, and I'm glad that we finally got him in Lego form. The Woody, take it or leave it, honestly. This being a display set, we know that the finished product is very important for what Lego is trying to accomplish here. You get 2 books and Slink, and these can be split up into different ways. There's a versatility to the display here. The books are, I think, wonderfully colored, with the tin toy built with dark turquoise and dark blue pieces, and the knickknack being dark purple and dark pink. The books aren't all that big. The tin toy is about 6 inches tall compared to knickknack's 8 inches. The contraption that hides Slink is very nicely done. The little space for Woody in the knickknack book is actually far better. You've got a bunch of Easter eggs placed in this room, as many characters are built out of the 1x1 round plates, including Jessie, the aliens, army men, Buzz, and more. There's even a pizza box in there, which adds up to a lot of fun details that are embedded within the build and heightens that experience. To connect Slink to the books, each one has 2 small gaps with an exposed Technic axle that then fits into the coiled section of Slinky. Once you've got him in there, the main design of the set, at least as displayed on the front of the box, comes to life. And you've got a very decorative set of bookends that, if you look here, our books on this table, it functions well enough. The focal point of the set is the buildable Slink, which I think looks really good. He measures 17 inches long when connected to the books. On his own, I think he's closer to about a foot in length. The light blade pieces used for his coils are effective. They look strong, although they are able to be posed a little bit. You can move him around a little bit, not up and down, but back and forth. And you can't extend him out, but I think it's an effective look overall. His head rotates 360 degrees, but it does not move up or down. I think his face looks pretty good, in my opinion, with his printed eyes. He's got these expressive eyebrows. They did a really nice job putting that together. His jaw has articulation, which allows you to open and close his mouth. The green collar pops out nicely, and his ears are definitely floppy. Lego was able to achieve the rounded shape of his head in an effective way here, which is a testament to the set designer. The long, flexible tail is great and accurate to the character, which is important to get right. His paws are also well done, which surprised me. I thought they were a bit clunky as I built them, but when I compared them to the actual subject matter, his paws in the movies, it actually shows me how well Lego did with them. His legs also articulate, but if you push down on him too much, his paws can slide out from under him. As is usually the case in some of these display sets, there are some exposed Technic pieces that don't really fit the set all that well. I found this to be the case with the Luigi and Mach 8, which that review is coming out in just a little bit, so be on the lookout for that. And it's a bit annoying here in a couple of spots, namely by the joints. The colors of these pieces, like dark gray and black, don't pop out too much, which is nice, but if you look at them closely, you can notice that they are there. You can pose Slink on top of the books. You can pose him connected to the books or on his own. And I think that versatility is an aid to the set. Personally, I like Slink on his own and stacked on top of the books, as he looks great and is easily added to an end table or a display shelf. Overall, I do think there's quite a bit of charm to the finished product of the set. And you can just, I think even as it is here with various ways to display things, you can get a nice looking piece for wherever you want to put him. And it's immediately recognizable, which is a huge plus. Whether you like Slink himself as the buildable version or the minifig, I think there's a lot to like with that. So now we come to the rating and recommendation section of this video, and we just spent some time talking about the display value, which I think is very, very good. But I also want to talk a little bit about the monetary value of the set, because it is $150 for 1,311 pieces. And again, that initial reaction is, well, that's not a great price per piece ratio, and you would be correct. It's 11.2 cents per piece. Of course, that's if you like that measure. There are, of course, a number of people who prefer other measures of value, and let's consider a couple of those here. We know that new pieces, new molds, new colors will add to a set, and this set, as described in the building experience section, breaks a lot of new ground with pieces and colors. And so if you enjoy seeing those new pieces in a set, this definitely should intrigue you. On the other hand, these are many pieces that are new, I think should be able to be found in other sets in the upcoming years. And so if you're looking to get some of these pieces for building mocks or something like that, patience, I think, is a virtue, because there's no need to go out and buy them now, especially if you can wait a little bit. And there's a chance that some of them may be available on Pick and Build online in the next handful of months. But I also think that there are some flaws with this when it comes to the monetary value. The first is, while the Slinky minifig is fantastic, the Woody minifig is meh. And you only get 2 minifigs in a $150 display piece, which honestly isn't all that good. And it's a pattern that I'm noticing with a lot of Lego sets right now, is that you end up spending a lot of money and you do get maybe some good pieces and value there, but for what you're paying, the amount and quality of the minifigs sometimes is a bit lacking. As I mentioned in the minifig section, this is a little bit of a mixed bag with those minifigs. And so if you look to minifigs as being maybe that tiebreaker when it comes to value, I'm not sure it's worth getting the set for the minifigs, especially when you'll be able to pick up the Slinky minifig on its own. And I don't know the price of the Slinky minifig yet, but I guarantee you it's less than 150 bucks. So if you're into the minifigs, I would go to the secondary market in 6 months or so to pick up the Slinky minifig. Which means that if we take a look at everything put together, I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. I think there are enough flaws that it's not going to be an elite set 9 or 10 out of 10, but I think it's good enough that it's going to be slightly, above average. So that 8 rating seems right to me. There are a lot of really cool features to the set. There are some really fun building techniques and things like that, but it's definitely not among the elite sets that we've built so far, even in 2026. So let me know in the comments down below what you are thinking about when it comes to this particular set, or even some of the other Toy Story sets. We're hoping to get some of those when they go on sale in the future, so it might be a long time before we actually get those and review them, but that's okay. I think it's worth waiting for those deals. But anyway, put those thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching this independent review, and always remember to keep building together.